currently in the process of purchasing our next home. This is a big milestone for us personally and for the channel here, Penny's Not Perfection, because we've been working up to this for the last few years by saving money, improving our finances, and getting ready to make a big leap with a house purchase that is a lot more than our first purchase 8 years ago. If you've watched the previous videos in this series, you know that we put an offer in on a house somewhat spontaneously when the right house came along. We went back and forth with the sellers and dealt with multiple offers, and they accepted our offer. We offered $405,000 for the purchase of this new home, and we planned to pay almost all of the closing costs, but the seller was going to pay $2,500. We felt like this was a fair price. We know the neighborhood really well, we know the area well, and we know that this is one of the smaller houses in that area, and it's one of the lower priced houses in that area. Most of the houses on the street that we're on are going to sell for more than this house, so we're pretty excited about being the smaller house on the block for once, but it's still a bigger house than our current place and gives us a lot more room and a much more functional layout for our family. Because we know the area, we felt like it was a good price, and the neighbors that live on that street thought it was a steal, a complete deal, and they were like, you have to buy it, this price is amazing, you have to go for it. And while we trusted them, of course they want the highest price possible because that means their house is worth more as well. So we weren't totally sure what the appraisal would say the house is actually worth, but we have gotten that information back. Paying for the appraisal was one of the first things that we did when we started the mortgage loan application. It was one of the top items that the lender wanted us to do at the very beginning because they wanted to make sure that the loan that we were taking out matched up to the purchase price and the price that they felt the house was worth. There will obviously be issues with giving you a loan if the purchase price doesn't match up with what the house is actually worth. So that's why they want to make sure that they get the appraisal in quickly so anything can be changed if needed. In our situation, we were not allowed to shop for an appraiser. It is someone that the lender chooses and they have their own appraisal person. So what we had to do was pay for the appraisal. That was what we did on our end, and we did pay $650 in the very beginning for this appraisal. Since we didn't shop for this, that price was not negotiable and nothing we could change. It just was $650, so we did pay that in the very beginning. And they did do it pretty quickly. Within a week, we had paid for it and the report had come back. So we do have that in hand. And luckily, our house did appraise for the amount that we are purchasing it for. And it actually appraised for $408, and we are purchasing it for $405. That's good news. We don't have to change anything with our loan or the price that we were going to pay for the house. And my husband jokingly said that we're rolling into $3,000 in equity already, which is exciting. But honestly, it just means that the house was appropriately priced and our offer was appropriate for the house, for the neighborhood, and for what we are getting. This is one of the few parts of the process where I was not super worried and I didn't think anything would come back that was kind of out of left field. I pretty much knew the area so well, and I've looked at houses for so long over there. I knew that we would get back an appraisal that made sense, match these numbers, and would allow us to continue with the purchase of the home. So I wasn't worried at all with this process. The appraisal part was easy peasy to me. It felt like a no-brainer. The part that I was personally worried about was what comes after the appraisal, which is the inspection and the inspection period and the repair period. That's the part that concerns me the most. So while the house did appraise for the right amount and we are able to continue, the inspection comes next, and that is the part that personally concerns me the most. So we will see what the home inspector finds, what we will have to ask to be repaired or ask for money to repair on our own, and see where we go from there. This is an older home. We are not buying a new build despite the $405,000 purchase price. This is not a new build. It is a pretty old home. There are going to be problems and there are going to be things that need to be fixed. That is true of almost any home, whether it's a new build or not. You generally have things that come up that you have to fix as a homeowner. And if they have not fixed things over the years that they've lived there, that is a little bit of a concern. So the inspection is next, and we will find out what that report reveals pretty soon. And I'm excited to share it with you guys as we walk through all of the different steps of this home buying process. But for now, we're able to check a box and we are done with the appraisal. It appraised for the right amount and we're moving on to the next step. Definitely subscribe to Penny's Not Perfection for more as I continue this series and share everything that's happening with the home purchase. And if you missed it, definitely watch this video next.